makes you an expert in your area with the 10 viewings. If you're just even on the MLS and playing around, you know, and you want to become that area expert, you know, that's where you start to search. Okay, so let's go to page 10. I don't know if this is the same. Are we on the same 10? Is it get your head in the game? Yes. Okay, super important. I'm just going to read through this real quick, follow along, and then we'll talk a little bit. So clearly establishing the process of finding and buying a home and working with your buyer as a coordinated team is the best way to work effectively and efficiently to close as many buyers as possible. Working with buyers is relatively simple, inexpensive, and quick. Number one, finding buyers is simple. It's not hard to find buyers to work with. They visit open houses, they look for properties online or through your KW app. Buyers are everywhere at all times, essentially raising their hand and saying, work with me. Number two, servicing buyers is inexpensive. Buyers are more time consuming than costly. Apart from the gas you'll put in your car as you show homes, your expenses will be low. Earning with buyers is quick. If you do it right in a great buyer transaction, you can help that person find a home, write an offer in one day. Working efficiently with buyers is your key to generating income quickly. Converting your buyer lead to a signed buyer agreement is an important step in each process. Each step of the process requires you to build and cultivate the relationship. Okay, does everybody understand what they're saying by signed buyer service and that they're easier? Does that make sense? So what are some ways, this is a great question, what are some ways you can generate leads for buyers? So, yep, referrals here, circle prospecting. Does everybody know what that is? Circle prospecting? Circle prospecting means like just what we were talking about. So if I have a listing or KW, someone in our office has a listing, ask that person to pull the listing and just say, hey, hi, this is Kim Neal with the Neal Team at Keller Williams. We just listed a home in your area at 123 Main Street. You know anybody who's looking to buy or sell? It's just circle process. It's just telling them that there is a listing that Keller Williams has. It's a great way. There's a gentleman here, Kevin Glovac. I don't know if you guys know. He makes his whole career on circle prospecting. That's all he does. That's all he does. He's a capper. He's hilarious. And he's awesome. He's awesome. You know, he's awesome. He says, hi, this is Kevin Glovac. There's a home listed at 123 Main, or just sold. Just sold at 123 Main Street. When one house sells, two more sells in the neighborhood. Would you be interested in selling your home? Okay, thank you. Same script, same line, been doing it for 10 years. So it works. It's a numbers game. Does 200 calls, he gets 1 or 2 leads. Okay, so circle prospecting, Sphere, open houses,
social
media, internet.
Give a seller
You have some listings, you want to utilize those listings to attract the buyers. For every listing, they say you should pick up 2 buyers. I say at least 1. Okay. Page 11, let's go to. And who wants to read that for me? Awesome.
Working with buyers can be fun and exciting. Touring houses and helping to find their next dream home. The process of working with buyers can be refined to 3 steps. Find buyers, qualify buyers, sign buyers. Perfect.
Yes.
Find buyers. Remember, your job, number 1, is lead generation. In this case, is leads generating for buyers. After all, you can't work with buyers if you don't have any buyers. NAR 2014 profile of home buyers and seller statistics. 88% of buyers purchase their home through a real estate agent. 40% of buyers found their agent through a referral from a friend or family. 12% of buyers used an agent they had used in the past. 9% of buyers found an agent visiting the
So a lot of times buyers, and this is just a line that I use with buyers when they said, oh, we're looking online and we don't need an agent. Okay, great. Why don't I go ahead and set you up on a search? It'll be directed right to my MLS. You can search. And did you know, Mrs. Buyer, that you don't pay for my services? That the listing agent pays. So I'm basically working for you for free. Why wouldn't you use me and have access to that? Oh, I didn't know that. Great, well now you do. So now now I'm your agent, right? So now here's the stuff, go ahead. But really it's a way to break the ice. When they say, no, I just don't want to, most of the time it's money. Like they don't know. They don't know the process. They don't know that they don't have to pay you. So that's a good one. After a while, you'll just cut to the chase. You just say, I'm a buyer's agent, and you don't pay me the listing agent. Use me for free. Is usually what I say. Why wouldn't you use me for free? Take advantage. Absolutely. And I tell them, if we want to work with a listing agent, do you realize that they have the seller in the best interest of you? You want a buyer's agent. And that's how I say it. You want a buyer's agent. They don't need to know that I do listings. You need a buyer's agent to represent you, and that has your interests, that has your best interest in heart. Because the other listing agent works with the seller, and that's his client. Okay, so somebody understand that? Any question? Am I going too fast through the book for you? Lead Gen 12, lead generation. Doing your daily 10-4 is an excellent opportunity to find buyers and referrals. Oh, here's a good little script. I just want to see if you have any real estate plans coming up that I can help you with. I appreciate you giving it a thought. If you do come across someone, will you promise to let me know? That's a great one for your sphere. Like, hey, Brother Joe, I just wanted to see if you had any real estate plans come up with your problem. I don't want to work with him meeting. But your friends, yeah, your friends, great. So that's doing your daily 10-4. That's really a script I would use with my sphere for friends, or even certain prospects. I guess you can. Open houses. Anybody do open houses? Have you done open houses? I know. Okay, so open houses is a great way to gain buyers. It's how I got my first buyer ever in the business. I hosted an open house for an agent, and my first buyer won. So, and actually we're still friends to this day, just went to a wedding. So yeah, so it's, make a lot of friends. Anyway, so you want to do open houses. So ask the agents in the office, is everybody on our KW page, Facebook page? Go on there, say I'm looking to host an open house. We all have listings that you guys can do. And we're willing to, let you guys host. So just ask. As a new agent, open houses are easy, fun, low-cost way to find buyers. Your goal in holding an open house is not only to sell the home, it is to put yourself in the path of opportunity. The business opportunity to meet people, add to your database, and set appointments, especially with interested buyers. For many agents, holding an open house is their #1 strategy to build a strong business, and it can be yours too, if you follow the proven model. Buyers and sellers come to you, and other visitors may not be actively looking to buy or sell, but a memorable and favorable impression can generate referrals now and business farther down the road. Holding an open house can be broken down into 2 steps: preparation, marketing, connecting with visitors and asking for their contact information, and lead cultivation, conversion follow-up. So the way that my team does an open house is we host the open house. I just have I'm very much old school. I like them to sign in. I usually offer a gift card or a plan or something to entice them to sign in. So it'll say, please sign in and have a chance to win this $15 Dunkin' Donuts gift card. Or, you know, in the fall, I'll do mugs. And this way people don't have a problem doing that because everybody wants something for nothing, right? Even if it's towels, yeah. So, I always do a little something like that most of the time. And that entices them to sign. Otherwise, I know a lot of people do the iPad now. And it's up to you. Once I get that information, I have my team go ahead and write a thank you card for visiting the open house. I put my business card in there and we mail them off. They go into the database on a drip campaign, and then I have them follow up a day or two later. Hey, thanks for coming to my open house. Can I get some feedback? My seller would like some. I think I have, we have the name, address, phone number, email. And if they won't do like the address or something like that, then it's, but if you have a prize to give away, they're usually like, okay. Does that make sense? Okay. Do your market research. Page 14. You're in the information business. As you're prospecting for buyers who will be asked questions about the market, be prepared. So this all should be done, I feel like, at your consultation. Who does buyers consultations? Okay, so do you do them in office or like, somebody give me an example.
I do both, but
You do both? Kim?
yeah, I mean, I'll go somewhere if they need to, but I always invite them to the office.
Okay, great idea. Great. Did everybody hear Kim? Yeah. Okay. What about you, Angela?
I typically, just depending on the buyer, I'll typically do it at the first house that I show. And I just kind of lay everything out there before we can proceed to go to the next property. Just because I'll do it over the phone, but giving them the whole layout is at that first property.
I'm with you. I'm with Angela. I do it exactly that way. I want to go and meet them face to face. You know, and sometimes they always don't have the time to come in, or they're in a rush, and it's great. You should do consultations. In my experience, because I'm in the grind, I call it. If I'm not going to show them that first house, they're going to hang up on me and they're going to call somebody else, right? So that's the honest to God truth, you know, unless they're your friend or, you know what I mean?
I also think that if you set, I also think if you set that expectation that yes, I would, I would love to show you this house. I set the expectation that, you send me over your pre-approval. We will go over your needs analysis, that day, like sort of set it up later. Do you have time afterwards or before? So that if they're really wasting your time, they'll probably back out right away. And then that's a waste of your time.
Great
and
point.
like you said, and then if they are serious, then you are showing them that first house. So you're giving them that benefit of the doubt and letting them know that, hey, you're expecting that they're going to have to follow the procedure.
Absolutely.
And can you give me an example, Kim, of what your presentation would be? Like what, not to make it too long, not to be too winded, not to.
I'm there. So my personality, my person is very upfront, open, and long, right? So, and not that I'm like that with all my clients, but right on the phone, when they call, they're qualified. Like, I'm not wasting my time with anybody. I'm not sending my girls out. We're all moms. Who knows what could happen? Right on the phone is you've got 5 to 10 minutes with me qualifying you, right? If in fact you're qualified, like Andrew said, I have them send me over the pre-approval, right? And the way that I do it is by saying, okay, so we talked to your bank, yeah, I'm pre-approved. Okay, now if they say yes, my question is this, and it usually I can weed out the bad from the good. Great, you're pre-approved for 225 with who? My bank. And who's your bank? Chase. Great. Are you FHA or are you conventional? Okay, great. So it should say right on your pre-approval, your FHA, because we can't really look at houses, because if you're conventional, or I mean, if you're FHA, you know, it could be a different avenue we need to travel. Not that it's worse, but we're gonna have to find you a moving. Well, yeah, I talked to my bank 3 months ago, and they said I was pre-approved. Great, can you call your bank? What I'm gonna do in the meantime is I'm gonna go ahead and set you up on an MLS search. I'm gonna call the agent of the house that you wanna see. I'm gonna schedule that, and then we'll double back in an hour or 2 hours. Okay, how about if we do it like at 7 o'clock? Okay, great. So I just weeded them out.
You know, Pam, this is just another example. I did the whole consult because I don't go out either without either you have pre-approval or something.
Yeah.
You gotta have something. So guy says, yeah, I have the pre-approval, and he sent it to me. I'm like, okay, hey, I meet him at the property and everything, and it didn't work out. We did our consultation, and he had his girlfriend there. And so I said, well, okay, you know what, guys, just kind of send me everything that I asked for. And so he hadn't sent everything. So I gave him a call like a day later, and he said, yeah, oh, I forgot to tell you, my girlfriend had already chosen an agent, but you can go ahead and send me something. I said, no, I can't. How about you guys just continue to use the agent at your girlfriend? So you want to always think about if there is somebody else that's involved, you want to make sure that you have the deciding person who's making the decision.
Great point.
Yeah, so recently I do buyer's consultation, and just to go back, it depends on my relation. Like if I know them, I'll go to their house. But I didn't do that when I first started, and now I'm very firm about like, don't waste my time, give me the pre-approval. We're not gonna look at homes and get as much detail about the criteria that you need, and keep putting them back. Like you said, you wanted a basement.
Absolutely.
And in bold, the guy's like, don't show more than 10 houses.
Absolutely.
So honestly, I put that in there. I put that in there. I said, if we're really doing our homework and we're really effective, your time's valuable and so is mine, and I respect your time. So there's no reason to look at more than 10 homes if you really know what you want. So I try to not waste my time anymore, because I've had them waste my time.
I have too. We all have, because in the beginning we're hungry. We want to get that, you know, hey. As you get, you know, as you keep doing this, you're gonna be like, oh.
And then another thing,
I can shovel snow. True.
But another thing was the Zillow agent. Like nowadays, everybody's calling Zillow. So like this guy's like, my wife is called the Zillow agent. We booked a showing, and then I forgot you were an agent. So you got to be careful. So you got to tell them in the consultation, do not call.
So
anybody.
here's what my team does. So, and this is great. They ask. I've taught them to ask right up front. Hey, so qualifying. Hey, are you working with anybody? No, because we ask that. We, as professionals, do not want to step on another agent's toes, because I would not want that agent to step on mine. And if they ask them right up front. And if they say, well, kind of, sort of, because we do, my team generates a lot of internet leads. Well, we kind of, sort of have an agent, but, you know, she wasn't available. Great. Great. Awesome. Did you sign anything with them? Nope. Are you committed to that person? Nope. Okay. Send me over your pre-approval, whatever, because you know what? If that agent isn't on it, I know I am. So sorry, you know, and I hate to be like this. It's too bad, so sad, do your job. Right?
That's why you want to get the buyer to.
And I have a buyer right now. I'm pretty sure he's going to be approved, but he's like, yeah, I want a house for such amount. I'm like, you need to, you know, have the pre-approval, because they come up with their minds, but they can afford. And I'm like, no, I need that paper because he's way over, you know. And I'm like, are you sure? So I'm like, it's not a fight thing, but even though I know, I'm like, I'll help him, but I'm like, you need the right numbers, because you'll go showing houses.
Because you have champagne taste on your budget, right, friend? Yeah. Amen.
So if you do your buyer's consultation and that first house,
That's what
Yeah. Absolutely. So what I'll do even sometimes is I like to send them who I am and what I do, and I'll even email them. even before we meet, but give me your email, I'm gonna set you up on a search, I'm gonna send you a little packet here, go ahead, read through it, and bring it with when we meet tonight. And if they don't, I have 10 of them in the car. So yeah. If they won't sign it the first time, because you'll have people like, I just wanted to see it. I didn't want to sign it. Okay, and I get it. I totally get it. You know, when insurance guy comes over, I'm like, what do you want? What do you want from me? So I get it. So I will say, oh, I totally understand. What worries you? What worries you about signing this? Do you not like me? Do we not mesh? And sometimes I won't even pull it out. I'm like, she's nuts. Like, oh my gosh, she's got, you know, approved for 110,000 and she wants 180 and can't go on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to work with you because then I'm running around, you're running around, and we end up in a condo that I told you 6 months ago. That's what we should have done. Unless they're my friends.
Oh my God, you're so funny.
So I get it when you're talking about with pre-approval. Like I have a cash buyer. She has and so it's been crazy because they keep sending me stuff that looks like garbage for their price, and I'll send them really great stuff for their price, and then they'll send me back like they just sent me to do a house that's an auction that has a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm like, I'm in the snow digging the other day. Is there a cash buyer? Well, help me.
So this is what it's a conversation, right? It's all about having a conversation. Yeah. What is she your friend?
She's fine.
Okay, perfect. Listen, we've been running around, taking at this. What am I missing? Do you want to fix her upper? Is that what you want? Do you want to fix her up, or are you looking to like just buy and move in? Because I'm thinking that you just want to move in, move, close on it, and go. You're sending me stuff that absolutely needs to be fixed up. Also, friend, so you realize if we get this house at 85,000, you've got 5,000 to fix it up, or do you have an extra 20 in the bank? You know, where's your time, friend? I mean, I'll show you whatever. Always put the onus back on that, right? I know, friend. I'll show you what I'll drive to Taj Mahal for you. But are we going to be looking at the same thing? Are we agreed, you know, on the same thing? So it's just a conversation. Just ask her, like, if auctions and foreclosure or whatever REOs are something that you want, I'll show them. But know that that's where we're going. And do you have the money to fix it up?
I love her, but I'm about to refer her out. Like she has 5 kids, her and her husband, 5 kids in them, so it's 7. So they want 5 bedrooms, which is fine. And I'm looking for it, and I've sent them stuff, and she's like, yes. And I'm like, yeah, cool. And then she's like, well, we want to see this. Okay, look, that's right there.
Why, then just ask her. Why do you want to see that?
Okay.
Just ask, because you'll never know. Otherwise, you'll be running all over.
That's why it's good to create like a buyer's, you know, your criteria list. You know, when I'm talking to a buyer, I'm like, okay, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths,
yeah,
rehab or not rehab. Mm-hmm. If you want rehab, then I'm not the one. You know, it just depends.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
So you want to have that up front. And when they start sending me stuff that is totally not what they told me in the beginning, I'll mention it and I'll say, hey,
yeah,
this is not what you told me. So are we changing the direction? Because if we're changing the direction, then you need to get pre-approved for a little bit more money.
Absolutely. Where I always go into, what is that? And this is good. So you're looking for that, and you have 90,000 to spend, and we're going to start looking at auctions or REOs, which are foreclosures. Do you have the extra money to fix it up? Well, no. Okay, well, are you willing to do a 203K loan? Where are we here? Like, where I'm lost.
And sometimes if it's with a couple, they're kind of confused. The wife might want to move in ready, and then husband might want something that's a mixer up.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you have to interview both of them to see exactly where they can meet in the middle to decide what they want.
And I think too, again, these are life lessons. When you're meeting those buyers, my preference is one of my gifts, which ain't many, is I can read people. Like I can read. So right when I meet my couple, or single man woman, that's how I mirror and match them. So if I have a woman, even if it's the girlfriend, so I do a lot of business in Mount Green, which is firemen, policemen, that kind of thing. So they always seem to buy a house with whatever. So the girlfriend, the woman's making the shots. She's calling the shots. No, even if her name is not on there, she's calling the shots. So I always gear my personality to the woman. Hey, I'm Kim. What's your email? What are you looking for in your kitchen? Oh, I don't care what you think. To be honest with you, like, oh, Samantha, come on. Look at how cute this is. But like, I'm always gearing to them. Because if she don't like you, you're out. You are out. Right? It's so true.
Hello?
You're too late. You're out. You're too fat. You're out. It's like, okay.
Hey, if you need a man referral for those, just.
No, you know what, Kim? That's the truth. I mean, women.
You never see me dressed like this going on with or nothing. My hair is always up in a bun, pulled back, usually no makeup. It's crazy, right? But I don't ever want somebody to judge me. So if I look like just the norm, do you know what? Not that I'm not normal, but I don't ever want somebody to say, go with everyone. Like really, quick story. Thank God they were my friends from Boy Scouts. So I have 3 boys, and so a good friend of mine now, he has MS, wheelchair bound. So I would have to go with her husband and her daughter, the husband and the daughter, and I knew them; they're family friends. And I would go. I swear to God, every showing and anybody who knows me in this office, I live in workout clothes. I would go in workout clothes, gym shoes, hat on, because it was the middle of winter, and I would FaceTime her while we would go to every house. Because her neighbor said to her, how could you let her take your husband and go again? Come on, I swear to God. And she told me, she's like, Kim, you know what the neighbor said next door? I'm like, what? She's like, how could she let her go? I'm like, that bitch. So at that point, that was early when I started real estate, I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I literally was like, that was my very first listing. And it was, I was selling their house and we were buying. So I learned early that like people really do, even though you hear that, you know that, you really think like, I'm just doing my job. What's the big deal? And I know them. They know my kids. My husband knows it, we happily married, they're happily, but it is. And I learned real quick. I'll never have anybody say that. I don't ever want anybody to judge or do anything. So I'd rather be on the down low than fly under the radar.
Always talk to the girl. Because I had them come in for buyer consults. As soon as they walked out, the guy's like, I'm sorry, I don't think she's gonna let me work with you.
Freak. Yeah. It is the truth, and like I said, this is all life story. This is the stuff that you're going to see out there.
Well, it's the first impression. You got to think about it, because you just like Kim said. Well, even if they are insecure, we still are in professional business, and if you just, if you dress, because as women we can dress a certain way, and give a different impression.
Absolutely.
So you just want to be mindful when you are, if you know those jeans turn heads, then don't wear those jeans.
Always wear the nice long. But, I walk out the door, my son's like, you going to work? All the time. He's like, "Hi, you going to work?" I'm like, I don't even say anything. I give him that look like, it works.
So like if I always walk around with the woman, but the guys, the husband always love me, but the wife's like, yeah, she's okay. But and I don't have a problem. But you're right, that is so true. So now I speak with the wife, I'm like, I love you.
Yeah,
I don't even
I'll
want
even
to.
have the girlfriends are like,
Yeah.
hi, man, and okay, great, the pre-approvals in his name. I'm like, we're good.
True.
So yeah, just these are little tidbits that it just is what it is, unfortunately. But me, I don't care. I think if you're the best of the best, that's who I want. I don't care what you look like, how you talk. Look, you know your job. I'm sold. Everybody's not like that, especially if they're about 20 or 30. You're like, oh. Okay, any questions on that? True, we all agree. 15, list price to sale price. Okay, so these are obviously it just says know your terms. List price to sale price. Does everybody know what that? So the final sale price, what a buyer pays for the home, divided by the last list price, expressed as a percentage. If it's above 100% of the home sold for more than list price. If it's less than 100%, the home sold for less than list price. List price to sale price percentages can help a buyer decide what to offer on a home. As you guys do this more, super easy. Hi, Mrs. Buyer. If the house is $250 and all the houses in the area sold at $239, right? And they all got, we'll make it easy. They all got $239. We all know that the prices in the market, in Worth, wherever, is selling at 100%. They all sold at $239 asking price. So, Mrs. Listing Lady, you're overpriced. No, I would never say that, but listen, they all sold at 100% at $239. This lady's asking, the seller is asking $250. She's $11,000 over that. Does that make sense for everybody? So you're going to advise your buyer, here's the stats, here's the number. They all sold at $239, and they're all fairly, I'm making this easy. They're all fairly comparable. I would advise my buyers to do that. Let's start here. And then that's something you go to the listing agent and say, hey, I noticed you're $250. We're going to put an offer in. Go ahead and look at my offer. You get her $10,000. Well, so was the other 10 that sold at 100%. I think this is a fair offer. Let's want the appraiser come out there and then okay, great. That's what this means. So list price to sale price, and the house is worth only what a seller or a buyer will pay. Doesn't matter. It's only worth what a buyer will pay. Days on market. The number of days a listing is active on the MLS before it's entered into pending. That just means when you're looking it up and it says it was on the market 42 days, it was on the market for a month and 12 days. Average days on market. Total days. I don't do this a lot unless it's my listing, unless I'm doing a listing presentation. This I won't do if I'm doing buyers. But it's average days on market, total days on market of each listing divided by the number of listings. So all they're saying is how many days, what is the average that they're on the market in that area, in Blue Island or wherever. You know what I mean? Like that's all. So the average days of market in Blue Island is 62 days. Buyer instant notification system, which allows them to store searches, preferences, and receive newly listed homes. This is your MLS search. Everybody know what that is in your MLS? IDX, stands for Internet Data Exchange. It provides consumers access to your local MLS. Anybody have a website? Okay, so IDX is put on there from your MLS. So when they go on and see your like mine is Kim Neal Real Estate, there's my IDX, my MLS, and then they can search property. Okay. Moving on, local information. You want to have information on your geographic farm, school district, local resources. You should know all this when talking to your buyer, right? So when you're doing your consultation, I don't care if it's before, during, whatever, they're gonna tell you, we have 3 kids and we chose Schaumburg because they were rated number 2. Oh, absolutely. Actually, they were rated number 1. So you said, oh, were they? When I looked at, oh yeah, their website, oh, they were rated number 1, second, whatever. So you know your market. You don't even have to sell in that market, guys. I apologize for taking that. You don't even have to necessarily work in that market, right? Because you have everything right at your fingertips, right? When somebody says, what area do you work? My go-to is I work Chicago and Chicagoland suburbs, northwest, south, and my radius is an hour. I will go 1 hour. Any questions so far? Zoom through.
Kind of curious about, I've got buyers that, she's a teacher, so she's very specific about different school districts. And if you're going in different areas like Tinley, Mokina, Homer, Orland, and you don't want certain school districts, you have to do different searches because
you can set it in MLS. Or you can pull it in.
MLS, but you have to do like the advanced options.
Yes. Yep. Put in that school district.
So are you saying which ones you do want or saying ones that you don't want?
Normally, when I get buyers and they want a specific school district, they'll tell me. It has to be legal.
Well, that's easy because then you can say, put in that number. But if it's like,
are you talking like 2 school districts in 1 town?
Well, all these different towns with all the different school districts. Yeah. And they have little kids, so it's elementary. Yeah. So it's like to exclude, you have to put.
You have to
like,
put,
does not contain.
Does everybody understand? So in the MLS advanced search, you can pick that.
So you have to do different searches for different towns, because I don't think you can do multiple, does not contain this one, and this one. I think you can only put 1.
Is it? You know what?
I don't know if anybody has.
I haven't. I've always just done the school district page. Just pull it up.
What is she looking for?
She's searching by school district.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, and doesn't want certain ones. It's not like we want Sandburg, where it's like, oh, great, it's Sandburg. It's like of all these different areas, she doesn't want certain ones in certain places. I think you have to divide them up. I just wondered.
Yeah. No, I've never. I'm
You
just.
could put it like.
you could do a boundary line search.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Because you can add like 3 or
Everybody
4
understand what
boundary
you're
lines.
saying? And then you need search out when you're searching in your
But
MLS.
it only costs. You're not asking.
More than 1 boundary. You can put 4.
We're gonna skip 18, unless you guys want to break up into 3 or 4. Qualifying and schedule buyers for consultation. We went over this, right? We went over how to qualify. And I think, is there here it is, the buyer lead sheet. Let's talk about this. Angela, were you talking about the buyer's lead sheet, what you have?
Yeah,
This is great. You can even have these with you. If you go to page 21, here's the buyer lead sheet. Look at this. Has an agent taken you out and shown you any properties? That eliminates are you working with somebody right there. Is there anybody else buying the home with you? Perfect. This way you're not running around with just one. If there's 2 decision makers. Who will be living in your home? How long you've been looking for a home? I'm just curious, why are you moving? Before I'd say, I'm just curious, why are you moving? I'd say, I'm just curious, do you have pre-approval? Yeah. This is good, you guys. You should make a copy of it. If you don't have one, this is a great one to start. Oh, there's more, sorry. 22, are you renting or do you own now? Great question. Oh, this eliminates, so do you have a home to sell? That's a good one. Are you gonna be paying cash or be getting a mortgage? There's your qualifying question. Qualifying. What price range are you comfortable with? I love this. Has anybody used these? Have you? I like these. This is a great way to get comfortable with it. Do this about 20 times and you'll know them right off the bat. Oh, this is great. Rate the buyers. You have A buyers, B buyers, C buyers. So I'm looking, what are A buyers?
Ready and willing and able, right now.
Like them. B buyers?
They ready but not ready.
Yep. C buyers?
No immediate.
Nurture. Yeah. They have no immediate need. They may have very exacting situations. So they're a nurture is what I would categorize them as. So I put them in my database and just nurture them. Qualifying financially, we spent a lot of time on this. Does everybody understand this? Any questions on pre-qualifying? Pre-approvals? If you guys take nothing else out of this class, I want you to how important it is to pre-approve them or pre-qualify them so you're not wasting your time. You know, especially in the winter and the roads like this. You know. And safety. Safety's huge, you guys. You don't want to be meeting people, you know, in a vacant house or, you know, an auction house that, you know, I just wouldn't do it. And if I did, I'd be, you know, that's very scary. So that's another safety. And if you tell somebody that on the phone, I've told people that, you know, like, listen, please don't be offended, but I just can't meet you at these, I'll never forget, it was 3 houses in Oak Forest when foreclosures were big. I want to see these 3 perfect looks. So you're going to pay cash for them. Great. Who'll be coming with you? It's just myself. Which time you want to meet? 4:30. Well, it's dark at 4:30.
Right.
And he kept pushing. I said, listen, not trying to be disrespectful. I said, but I'm a woman, you're a man. I said, these houses are all vacant. He's like, oh, I didn't even think about it. He's like, I understand. Here you go. You know, he just thought I was, no, I'm doing this for not that he could still kill me. But at least here's his name. You know, here's his name. Yeah. At least here's his name in my email. Grab it. But yeah, safety's huge.
So Kim, I had a situation where, and I think I had a situation where guy tells me he's an investor, right? And so when you tell me you're an investor, you know your stuff.
Absolutely.
You're an investor. Yeah. You know you don't need me. You just need me to open the door. So we go to the house, and I felt so uncomfortable. I mean, I felt it. So I opened the door, but I didn't go in. Okay, so I opened the door and I said, hey, I got on my phone. I said, you know what? You're welcome to go in and take a look around the house. He calls my name. Hey, Angela, come in so you could tell me what you think. And I said, no, go ahead. He said, no, come on upstairs and you could just kind of tell me what you think. And I said, no, that's okay. Go ahead. When you're done, come on, you know. And I'm screaming through the house saying this. Yeah. I'm like, come on, you know, when you're done, I'm at the front door. And he came and he says, well, why didn't you? I said, as an investor, you don't need me to give you any points or anything. Absolutely. You know if you're going to buy the house or not. Yes. And sure enough, he never contacted me back. He gave me this bogus pre-approval. So, I mean, can you imagine if I went in that house and because I just felt it. I was like, you're an investor. You know, you don't need me. You know, so.
When I first started, I had a gentleman call me about a rental that I was showing, and I was doing an open house kind of thing, viewing, 12 to 2, come and see this, whatever. And he was by himself, and I just got this sick feeling, like, so I went outside, and I got on my phone, thank God it was like spring or whatever, and he was like, hey, come here, I want to fill out an application. I'm like, no, I've got 20 people on their way, go ahead, take the application. And you know, he didn't even go, it was a split level, he didn't even go upstairs, came in, you know, went downstairs, took the application, and I didn't go in the house. I was like, you know, whatever. So it's and like, yeah, follow your instincts. And the other one too, I was in the city right before Christmas, and I knew he was referred to me from a police officer friend of mine, and I had pre-approval, I had everything. And for some reason, he wanted to invest in these really, like the west side of Chicago. He wouldn't do it during the day. I go, you know what, I'm gonna give it one. Pull up to the house, 4, 5, 6 drug dealers right on the corner, this, I'm like, kidding me? Like, I don't care, you want to deal, but, you know, hey. But we're all standing there, and I'm like, are you too sure you want to this neighborhood? Right. Yeah, it's up and coming. I'm like, yeah, about 22 more years. Like, it's not up and coming now. So we go in, lock the door, close it. I'm like, so they're looking around. We go to leave, and I hear pop, pop, pop. I'm like,
Fourth of July.
I said, that's gunshot. Sure enough, I looked and there's a kid laying on the floor. A car zooms right through the red lights, green light, zooms right through. And I said, you know what? I called that client. I said, you know what? Did you just see what happened? He's like, yeah, that's a given around here. I'm like, maybe for you. I did it to me, and I didn't talk to him since. Because now I won't show him he's mad. So, you know.
There is a saying that let's just say Bible and blood in the street. Really.
Well, you know what? He completely was like,
that's scary. It's wrong, but that's.
He was like,
big investment.
Yeah. And if he was only a 1-2. If he was a 10-20, maybe I'd risk my life. Not a 1 or 2. I don't need business there. I was like, oh. And then I got home and I was telling my husband, you know what's sick is we live in a society here in Chicago that's not a big deal. Like I was like, what's that? Oh, he got shot. Keep it moving. You know what I mean? Don't get stuck. But I mean, it's sad that, you know, I went home and I was like, it's like, what? My husband's so like, ooh, like, yeah, there was gunfire. He's like, what? What are you doing? I was like, yeah, whatever.
While you said that, do you ever think that it's okay to set hours when you let them know, hey, my hours, I don't show beyond 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday? Or was that?
So here's how I do it. It was Jackson. So you want to see these 8 houses from 6 to 9? I'd love to show them to you. So, but how you gonna see anything? Like it's tough. You know, you're not going to be able to make a decision because you know what? We can't see the outside. If there's no one living in it, I doubt that they have lamps and lights that are there unless they're in the ceiling. So how about this? I work weekends, Saturday, Sunday. Let me take you out first thing in the morning. We'll go grab, you know, a cup of coffee at 8 o'clock. We'll start looking at 9. We'll be done by 12. How's that? Because there's just no way. People just don't like it. Oh, okay, Kim, that makes sense. Tell them. You know, don't be like, my hours are this and that, because then they're like, all right, next realtor, can you do it? Always give them a reason.
Dan was teaching a class and he said about that because, you know, he's like, don't be a realtor, don't just jump. He said even in his voicemails, he won't take calls after like 6 p.m. He'll say, I'll return them the next day.
Yeah.
He's like, once you do that, you show them that, you know, you're the professional, you're in charge of your business, and they're going to respect that actually, and they're going to work within your hours. So, and if you need to, and if they walk away, then they walk away, but he's like, they never do. They usually find the time to work.
Yeah, and if they like you, they will, you know what I mean? Like, here's the thing, there's a difference between where Dan Kenny is right now and where newer agents are. So as a newer agent, I think it's a great rule to follow. I don't take calls after 7 o'clock. But I have 3 kids and I've established business. And if you're a listing and you need to talk to me, my voicemail says text me. I will text you back. You do it after 9 o'clock. My phone goes on, do not disturb at 9 o'clock. So if you text me, even if it's my friends or family, unless my son is out, it's the only time it's off. If my son's out and he's not home, as soon as he gets home, then it goes back on do not disturb. But I will not return anything after 9 o'clock. If we have a relationship and we're working a deal together, and you text me at 8 o'clock, like, Kim, I'm not really sure, I'll talk to you via text. I'll never talk on the phone, but I will text you. Go ahead, Jen. Yeah, so.
2 things I would say. One is, depending on your phone, you can't have certain people that are not part. So,
You can have what?
your favorite.
I would say,
Them as your favorites, and then when you part of
Oh, yeah.
I should not know that.
And second of all, everybody should have somebody that if you're going to an area that you're unsure about, even, it doesn't even have to be someone you're unsure about, somebody should always know your schedule.
Yes.
Always know your schedule, and if you're going somewhere that you're not sure about, you need to text or call the person and say, if you don't call me in 10 minutes and I don't answer the phone, call the police. Or, whatever it is, and then you have to be responsible for
Tell them I'm
sure. Yeah, but I was an appraiser for 11 years, and I appraised a lot of properties in, all kinds of areas. I had investors that refused to tell me when they were doing refinances.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah. They would tell me, you cannot even drive by that property and take a picture from your car unless you tell me what time you're going to be there at. And, my husband or my sister, somebody always knew. A lot of times they were on the phone with me when I would go into a vacant house.
Does everybody hear what Jackie's saying? Yeah. I agree. I'll bring my husband sometimes. We don't drive well together, so you drive too slow, you're fast. So, but I'll call my sister, I'll call my girlfriend, hey, take a ride with me, whatever, I've done it. Safety's always number 1. Okay, moving along. The critical points of the mortgage process. You guys want me to go over that?
No.
Okay. Okay. So your class, my friends. Yeah. We're all on the same page. Perfect. All right, let's go to 28, get the appointment. So now that you have qualified them and we got a buyer and we determined their ability, readiness, willingness. So we got an A buyer, guys. Based on the qualifications, you'll hear your follow-up. Get them in the car immediately. Meet them at the property immediately. And then B buyers identify what needs to happen first. C, manage them electronically. So what do you do once you guys tell me? So Renita, you got an A buyer ready. She just called you. I got a pre-approval of Renita. My girlfriend told me that you were awesome. I want to see this property tonight at 4. Renita, are we on the phone?
You do have your pre-approval. How much is it
I
for?
do. Renita is for 200, and I know the house. I want you to show me it.
Okay, is your pre-approval, is it FHA approved, is it VA approved, or conventional?
Let me see. It's conventional.
Conventional, okay. And you said it's for 200.
And you know,
send it to me already?
I'm going to, I'm going to send it to you. I have it, I'll send it to you and your girlfriend, and I'm a referral. I'm not just
Okay.
I'm a referral from your sister.
Okay, and where did you find the property at?
I found it in Tinley Park.
Okay.
Online.
Then you take a look at it first.
Okay.
And make sure that it's going to be friendly. Do you have any pets or anything like that?
I do have 2 dogs.
Okay.
Do you think we can get in tonight, Linda?
You know what, I'll have to check, usually I would need at least 48 hours to get your proof. So, give me your number and I'll get back with you, let you know whether or not we can get in.
Okay.
I always tell my clients 24 hours, tell them 48 hours.
Yeah. So, I think it's, no, I say 20, here, if I'm super busy and somebody calls me, I'm like, oh my God, I have to blame everybody else. Never blame me. Never. Oh my God, I gotta wait 24 hours. Can you believe that? Why? Well, they got a dog there too. Got a brand new baby. All right. Even if it's vacant, I'll say, and I'm busy, I'm not gonna lose that client. So what I'll do is I say, oh my gosh, the agent hasn't called me back. Can you believe it? They must not want to sell it. Because then now they won't call the listing agent.
Yep.
And now they're, so I always, and I will always say this. Listen, I have 4 other appointments. I want to get you in. The agent hasn't called me back. So you know what? Would you mind if we did it tomorrow? Gives me a reason to call them back. Gives me a reason to clear up my schedule a little bit and figure out what I'm doing. So I don't want to lose anybody, right? I don't want to lose. Kim, it's a friend, it's a referral. They got a pre-approval. They're excited. It's what we call our hot buttons. Like I used to do sales, phone sales, and it was a hot button. There were certain words, certain things, it's a hot button, and that's a hot button.
Yeah, so like if my son has basketball practice, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able, I gotta go to RJ's basketball. I don't care about that. So you have to have something else to do.
Absolutely.
You
I'm
lose
moving
it,
on.
you lose it.
In this day and age, we have loyalty from our sphere.
Yeah.
Sometimes not even that. So anything else, you're up against me who have, you know what I mean? Or somebody who has a team, or somebody that doesn't have kids, or somebody that can be available like that. So that's what I always think, and that's what I teach my girls. Like, this is a now business. You know, I mean, it's a nurture, but you know what? If you want to make money now, you better be on it. Like, it is busy. Do it. Do not refer that person. Do not tell them no, because if you can't do it, my team girl, tell me and I'll do it, because I'm still in the grind. I like to be in the grind. That's what I'm here for. So, and if I can't do it, like I'm going away this weekend with my husband. I have two new buyers, and they want to go this weekend. And I'm like, oh. What do I do? Call my sister, who's on my team, and I said, here's what you're going to do on Saturday and Sunday. Because if I say, oh my God, I'm not going to be around, you're going to go somewhere else. See, both of them are. So, and if that's the case, and let's just say, Rita, you're going out of town, so you call, put it on the Facebook page, can somebody do a showing for me? You know, I'll pay 5% or 10% or $50, whatever it is. Because you do not want to lose that person, right? Because I always say this to everybody. I don't care if you're buying a $60,000 condo, a $600,000 house, or a $5 million house. All of that is a paycheck, right? And it blows me away when I have people who are newer or in the business that say, no, I'm not doing rentals. All right, I'll do them, because you tell me anybody that you know that can go show 3 rentals, write a leasing contract, and make $600 for 3 hours worth of work. I know I'm not worth 300 if I go in the workforce. I'm worth about 12, right? If I go get an office job, they're gonna pay me $12 an hour. So to me, all I need to hear from somebody is, I won't work rentals. I'm like, won't work with me. You know, and that's just how I feel, because you know what? I'm just closing a rental right now. I had both leasing. I attracted the renter, and I made $1,200 like that, 2 weeks, boom. Who's too good? Who's too good for $1,200? Right? Not me. You know. But it's true. So it's even if a $50,000 condo, I'm still making $1,000. So You know, if there's only 3 condos that are under 50 grand, we're picking one of them 3. This ain't gonna, right? It's not gonna be an ongoing process. We're getting one of those 3. I can kick that out in 1 day, in an hour and a half, and then I just made $1,100. All day long. All day long.
Yeah, I have a question. My client sent me a property that she wanted to take a look at, and I looked at, the co-op split. It was 2%, minus $3.99. And I said, well, I wonder how the agents handle this. 2%, who worked for 2%? So I took it, you know, what happened when I called the agent, they took it off the market. The seller took it off the market. It had been on the market for, I think, about 100 days or so. And so I didn't have to deal with it, but
Yeah.
if I see that again, 2% minus $3.99,
You can always ask the agent.
You can.
You
I've had them
actually
ask.
negotiate. I've actually lowered my commission because I wanted to see the property sold, but that, I mean, it would be up to the agent and the brokerage.
So here's, as you get into this listing, they've cut their commission. You probably did it for 4%
Yes.
to you
yes.
and to me, and then I'll make a little on the
Yes.
side by charging the extra 400, right? Is that fair? No, I would do 2% and then charge no fee. I've done that before. But I've had agents call me. I have a friend who has a bunch of properties. He told me, he's like, I'm not giving you over 3.5%, Kim, because I have 7 properties. I'm like, whatever, just roll it. So I did 2% to the co-op, but I didn't charge anything else, and I did 1.5. I did 1.5. They were a friend of mine, and there are 7 properties, and I made money hand over fist. So to me, it was worth it. You know, I do, the way that I run my business, you know, they will teach you a lot of things, and a lot of things I agree with, you know, but I think the more you do business, the better you become, right? So, and I'm just saying, so if I'm a listing agent and I'm charging 5%, right? And I know another team in the office that's charging 6%, I may not have the manpower or the experience that that team does. So that's why I'm at 5. As I build my business and I build my knowledge, is I build my money, right? So if you always start off, you know, at 6-7%, personally to me, I don't know if you're gonna win all the listings. Just don't, you know, especially I've been doing listings for 3 years. Give me 7%. What are you gonna do? Do the 3 Ps. You know, I'm gonna put it on the MLS, put a sign in there, place it on, or pray that somebody comes. Because that's what we're all doing. I mean, we have our own marketing, and I think the more money you make, the more stuff you can do. That's why when you pair up with a lender, like Dan, those lists, anything that they can pay for to help you build, why wouldn't you do it? This way you don't have to pay for Facebook marketing. This way you don't have to they do all that. And you work with them, and they're great. Do you know what? So I don't care if it's an attorney, if it's this, if it's anybody who's gonna help you build is who you're gonna go with. I think, that's my opinion. It's less money out of your pocket. Okay, moving along. So 29, any questions on what we've talked about so far? Awesome. So buyer referral. If you've called a referral and the buyers have been willing to answer questions and stay on the phone with you, they have the potential to be a serious buyer. So let's see, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I'd like to invite you to come into my office so we can discuss what you're looking for in the next home and use my MLS to review property. This way we can search for homes that fit your criteria. When we meet at my office, this is actually good. When we meet at my office, we can work together to make the most of your time. I can use the tools I have to find the best matches for you and check for any contingencies and other details that would not be apparent from a property visit alone. Are weekends or weekdays better for you? Does everybody like that script? I think it's kind of like it's. Okay, number 30, page 30, buyer consultations. We went over this a little bit. So buyer consultations, I asked you, do you do it in the office? Do you do it, you know, and it's your business, you know. I feel like you have to do what's good for you and what you're comfortable for. I'm just trying to give you some avenues to save time for approvals, you know, needs analysis. I don't care if you do it in you know, in your office, in your car, you know, just do one. Okay, during your meeting with the buyers, your goals are delve into the needs, wants, and values of your buyers. Remember, this is going back to what you said. You know, you should only be showing them 10 houses because you should know their needs, what they value, so you can better assist them. And they really shouldn't have any more than 10 houses. Showcase your services and educate and set expectations for how well you will work together. And then walk away with a signed agreement, buyer's representation agreement. Okay, so the way that I do mine is everybody who's gone on a showing with a buyer. Okay, so I always go with a prepared folder. Does everybody go with folders? I know some do. Anybody else go with a folder?
Just with the listing page, the listing sheet.
So what I do, and this is just FYI for you guys, you can do it or you don't have to, but you look much more professional. So you call one of your vendors, lender, attorney, whoever, and say, hey, I need some folders with your information. Right? They come by, they drop you off 100 folders. I have a sticker with my business card. I put it right on the top. I staple my regular business card to the front. And inside, I have 10 things that you do not do when buying a house. Like, oh, no button, everything Dan said.
Email that to them every day.
Yeah. So I put that right in there. I put information on who I am, my track record, my team. And then I put all the listings, I put all their listings, put it in the side, and that is my folder. And anything else I have, I do $1,000 off coupon for my people if they use Dan. So I put a coupon. And he'll do that for you too if you just tell him, say, hey, Kim, blew the whistle on you. And I put the $1,000 coupon in there. And that's where I go. And if I have the pre-approval, I always have my bag with me. I have a contract in there, and I always have a copy of the pre-approval when I go. So, you know, have a couple pens in there, a calculator, whatever, and the info sheet. Just looks professional. Hi, I'm Kim, so nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. You know, this folder's for you. Anytime that we go on a showing, you're gonna get more paperwork. I want you to bring this with it. You can write notes on the inside of it. You know, all the paperwork is in there. Okay, great. I'm telling you, every time I see them, they have that folder.
Really?
All the time.
I used to be in auto sales.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one who's buying the car does that so that the house doesn't hit the credit report before the car does. So they do that on purpose. So now you're saying that's one of the things they don't do. Because it affects the home.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And
So,
you
right.
buy a car, right?
Right. So, but they're looking at it the opposite. So they're trying not to let the home affect the purchase of the car. Yeah. So they have it. So if they tell you that they want that they're planning on buying the car,
I tell them I know. You know, well, here's what happened. A friend that I grew up with, her son was buying a house 2 days before he bought his wife a car. 2 days, because he didn't think, he's like, closing in 2 days. We're okay. So they didn't ask me. And I was like, what? Sue, you know, I'm like, what? Oh my God, they can't do that. Da, 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 da. So he didn't get the house. We had to put it in his brother's name. Couldn't do it because his debt to ratio was too high.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Nope, couldn't do it. So then it was another month out. We had to redo it in his brother's name, and that was 3 years ago. They're just refinancing now. We couldn't do it. So yeah, so instantly. Oh, and I do it funny. Like, okay, so you go home, just go there, just go ahead and read it, and don't buy 45 days. Don't buy a thing. What if I need gas? I mean, I have them so like, what if I need gas is okay. Groceries are okay. Don't buy anything else. Because as soon as you close on your house, I don't care if you jack your credit card up to the
You're gonna
max.
get offers for credit cards in the mail.
Absolutely. So 45 days. 45 days. I have a newer couple doing it now. Came in, nice house. He says to the, and we're standing there. He says, oh, honey, we can go and get the furniture. I'm like, Kevin, do not do anything until we close on the house. You can pick it out. I don't care if you put it on layaway. I don't care what you do. Please don't. You can't. I didn't say please. I said you can't. He's like, oh, okay.
I always say, once my hand in the keys at the closing, go celebrate by your car.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? So yeah, so no, I just give them that and I tell them right what to do.
So find that list that is in there.
No, it was mine. I'll give you a
Something
copy.
that you made.
Okay, 31. Let's take an in-depth look at the 8 steps of a buyer consultation. So first one is all about you. 32. I'm just gonna go through this real quick because this is, have you guys seen a buyer's consultation at all? Like, have you seen anybody demonstrate buyer's consultation? Okay. So what your first page is, it's all about you. That's their analysis. You know, what are they looking for? You know, what areas, price range, when they're looking to, it's all about them. What do you need? What do you want? You know, things like that. You're figuring out who your clientele is at that when you're getting to know them. So your needs, your dreams, your concerns, questions, finances, time, your life. I don't know if I would necessarily go into that, but they'll tell you anyway. So you want to get to know them, and then you want to explain who you are. Hi, I'm, you know, Kim Neal with Keller Williams. I've been in the business 6 years. I have a team that can help you. So if I'm not available, someone else is. You know, if you're a newer agent, you go, hi, I used to say this, and you can, if you want to say it, you can. If you don't, that's fine too. When I was newer, I'd say, yeah, I'm new to KW. I'm new to KW, so I am all yours. I'm all yours. It's me and you. We're going to work closely together. You're going to have my attention. Because as a newer agent, you don't have a lot of business. You want to exactly say you're an agent. I'm a new agent to KW. I'm all yours. You're not going to get that with a bigger team. Right? And that's true. I mean, neither side is lying. You know, you boast if you're on a team, and you boast if you're single, right? You spin it. Perfect. You spin it to whatever fits your needs. Okay. So you want to tell them what they're going to get for, because you're the awesome agent, and you're going to kill it for them and find them a house less than 30 days. That's mine. Your dream house in less than 30 days. I don't care if I have to shop with you morning, noon, and night. I'm going to get you the house. And that's my line. Although it's hard to follow through when you got 20. But you'll find it. 6 steps to home buying. Choose your realtor. obtain, your pre-approval, do homes, oh, I'm sorry, 34. Just 6 steps to home buying. Actually, this is really good to even have in your folder. Now that I'm reading it, like, oh my gosh, this is great, me too. This kind of walks them through the steps. So you're gonna choose your realtor, you're gonna get your pre-approval, you're gonna view homes, you're gonna make your offer, get the inspection, negotiate repairs, final review of contract to close and close. That's great, I love this.
And I like the way that you talk about this folder that you were doing. Would it be a good idea to maybe, that you have people that wanna purchase with you, do maybe a once a month or twice a month home buying seminar where all this stuff is in it and you get to talk to them at the same time? Or is that you still wanna just keep it with that, let's go in this one house?
So two answers to that. So if I had just a regular client that I'm working with, I wouldn't have them come to home buyers. I would just be, it's me and you, we're personal face to face, we're building that rapport, right? I also do home buyer seminars. I play roller derby. So that's a huge network of women. We're talking 200 girls, right? So I do them for that. And I hand out their packets. And then I have like Dan and them come, and an attorney, and they stand up and they do a whole seminar, So yeah, you want to do it like that. So you like your sphere or a church group. I know that another girl in here does them with her church group, Carmen Spear. So,
We're doing one just open to the public.
See? Yeah, absolutely. So so then you have all that information.
We're combining it with our lenders, our attorneys,
Credit repair
guy.
Credit repair is great.
So I'm in the process of, we're putting together that PowerPoint and to insert everybody where they go.
Yeah.
So it's basically like this.
Yeah, this is perfect. So yeah, buyer seminars are great.
Thank you.
Is this guide in the, like my KW or something?
I would think. Is anybody done?
Say that again, Kim? This guide,
Yeah, like there's all this stuff.
Yeah, there's some really nice
It is
buyer's
on
presentations that you can personalize that you can
Is it
download
in Michael
from.
Lewis or is it in KW Connect?
It's in Connect.
Connect.
Really nice.
That's awesome.
It's also,
I really like this.
good.
And where do you see those in Connect? Under what? Under
if you
marketing?
if you search buyer's presentations.
Yeah.
Just buyer presentation.
Okay, so that was, what page was that, 435. So 36, funding your home purchase. I think we're moneyed out, right? Everybody understands funding to buy the home. Okay, so we've already done this, the down payment, closing costs. Here, and when you don't know, I will just say this, when you refer them to the lender or even theirs, when you follow up with that pre-approval, because I don't know if you guys do, I follow up when I'm doing this. Okay. But closing costs, a lot of people and a lot of lenders don't tell them. So if you have a first-time home buyer, well, you could be a second or third too, depending on. A lot of FHA loans need closing costs. This is what it is. So you ask your client. So when you talk to your lender, did he tell you that you needed closing costs? I make Matt and Dan do it. Like if they need closing costs, it better be on my pre-approval because I'm not going to second guess it. I know now that all FHA requires. They all need closing costs, but always double check that because the worst thing to do is, hi, we're going to put an offer in for full price, great, and then you go to do the contract, and it's like, oh no. Do you have? Hi, Mrs. Buyer, do you have an extra, $8,000 for closing? Kim, you said you look like it's just not a good position to be in.
So where does it come in?
So once I see that pre-approval, Kim, I always Do they need closing costs 3%, 4%? Do they need 5,000? Like
Some
I have,
of them will say based on 3%.
yeah, a closing cost credit. So so if it's me and you and you're the client and we found a house, say, okay, Kim, be straight. This is one, Kim. Okay, great. When we write up the offer, it's 250. We'll say it's 250. Okay, Kim, so the house is 250. You want to go in at 245, and according to your pre-approval, you need 3.5% back at closing. Oh. A lot of people don't know. And you're like, yeah, right here on the pre-approval, 3.5% closing costs. So what that means is, Kim, is they're going to go. They're asking 250, and I explain it like this. So they're asking 250 for the house. We're going to offer them 245, and then we're going to ask for another $4,500 in credit for closing. So actually, you're going to be paying $245,500, whatever it is, right?
We also should be careful too, because the lenders will say, oh yeah, get the 3.5% or the 4%. And when you're negotiating the deal, you call them back and say, look, we're really close. Do they need that?
Yeah.
And they'll come back and say, no, they really don't need it.
Yeah. Well, that's a deal that I'm doing now. They asked, the house is 260, they came in at 250 and won $7,500 back in the closing cost credit. And I'm like,
Where'd you go to?
So I called one. I'm like, do you really need $7,500 in closing costs? Like, where are you from? And he's like, well, I'm like, would 5,000 do it? And he's like, yeah. So then I went back, oh, we want, we'll do 255 with $5,000 back.
So they've already gone through the closing costs to get them the loan. Like, this is how much you're gonna need. Because I know sometimes people are like shocked that they need like $10,000 or something. They're like, what?
So I will let you in on a little secret, you guys. You didn't hear this from me. No closing, no matter what the price, until you get into the millions or whatever, is more than $4,500. All the other fees come from points, interest rates that they charge, fees that they charge. The base, every loan is $4,500. But it's all the origination fees, and we charge you an extra point for this. And we got, I charge you as the lender $3,200. That's what it is. All loans are $4,500 until $1 million, and you'll be paying. Supposed to say $100,000 house. But for your average, 200, doesn't matter if it's 200, 250, or 300, it's $4,500. So that's a good, okay, we know that they need $4,500. If we ask for 2,000, we know we're coming up with pretty much, unless it's an $80,000 down. Then that will vary. But it's based on your lender's origination fees, points that they need. That's where they always accrued. That's why some people are like, oh my God, it's $9,000. Attorney charged $2,200 for the title company, and you know what I mean. It's what they're charging. Does that make sense?
So you think that your attorney's charging $195.
And you're getting because you're getting it in the title company. And that's important to know too, to have an attorney. It's always leery, when I go on a listing appointment, they'll have the car, or no, when I do a listing, because that's when they do it. And then they send your client a little postcard that said, hi, I'm so-and-so. One had, hi, I'm so-and-so attorney. I work with Kim Neal all the time. Use me, I'm only $100. So when my client comes, say, hey, take a picture, send it to me. I didn't know who it was. But they do that because they're title fees. Because when you close, the title fees have a contract with the attorneys, the title companies, and the attorneys have a contract. So of course they're going to do it for $100 because they're making $2,000 on title. So be careful who you get in business with.
I had an attorney that actually owns a title company.
That's it. That's it. And that's okay.
Yeah.
If they're fair, I don't care.
Yeah.
Getting back to the fees, when I hold my consultation, buyer consultation, I'll always ask the client, are you aware that you're gonna have some upfront fees, which are 3.5%? You're gonna have to pay for your appraisal upfront, and you're gonna, if you want an inspection, you'll have to pay for that as well. And I'll ask them, do you have this amount of money? And they'll say yes or no. And then I also tell them you're gonna need some reserves, and talk to your lender and see what that number is.
Perfect.
Upfront.
Upfront. Then you set your expectation. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I do. It's along the lines of this, but like that's when you dealing with buyers, how do you get over paranoia that they have when they use a lender that you suggested or a lawyer that you suggested? Because I encountered some that feel like, oh, this is your lawyer, this is your lender. How do I know? Like it's a paranoia, like they think you have.
Like, oh my God,
It's just a person.
I would suggest, I personally, I just let them choose.
Yeah, I'm always giving at least 3 attorneys and 3 witnesses, and they choose. Don't necessarily 3,
I
but
did
at least
that,
2.
and they chose one, and it just seems like, oh, this is your time.
Oh,
it's yours.
Yeah,
Put
I
it
know.
back on them.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it. Put it back on them. Say, no, she works for you. She worked, that is yours. And I say, like, this is your attorney. Call her.
Yeah, I have one, he didn't
They
even
work
call.
for you.
I called the attorney, like, let me know this is your client that picked you. He wouldn't even, it's like he wouldn't even call. Well, I just.
And we have them too. We have them too.
It's just an individual. I had 2 crazy people ask me if I get kickback from it. I was like, honestly, I don't give a shit who you go with. Go
That's how-
Google it. Go Google whoever you want. I told him, I was like, I don't even care.
I do kickback.
I don't care. No, I mean, I was like, I don't care. You can think what you want. I'm not a huge thing. You can, you're entitled.
And this is how I explain it to them. I say, I have an attorney that I absolutely love. She's a heavy hitter. She'll go to bat for you. If you have your own rate. And I take that on. Absolutely. And that's why I used to have an attorney who everybody hated. And, oh my God, they're like, oh my God, Kim, she's so mean to me. Finally, I'm like, let's let her go. You know, I love, she's a friend. We're not friends. So, yeah, really, because I, you know. But
Is it safe to say that most contracts are having the sellers pay closing costs now? I mean, my buyers, I've been putting 3% seller buyer credit, like standard. And I don't know if that's safe. I did lose a deal. We were $2,000 off, and I lost one last week because of that. But
so here's conventional loans, they never ask for closing costs. FHA loans, always. Cash loans, no.
what about the lenders though that I'm finding out that some of my buyers could have been conventional, but they're pushing them FHA?
Yeah, we gotta ask them.
That,
They make more money off that.
Okay.
so here, that's why, if I get a client, it just happened to me. Matt and Dan gave them FHA. She called me and she's like, you know, I think I can go conventional. I gave her another lender that did 3% conventional. Then I called Dan and them and I said, you'll learn and you have to give options. And he was like, oh, Kim. I'm like, sorry.
What if it's a conventional loan and the buyer's putting down 20%?
No, they'll do conventional. If you have 20%, they'll do conventional. This is 3%.
No, I'm saying what the loans cost.
Nobody asks for it. What if they do ask?
So what if your buyer
Ask.
closing costs?
They do ask.
They ask, but then, you know, with the listing agent, typically, we're gonna be like, no.
Absolutely. Because you've got 20% to put down on the house, but you don't have enough for close. Like, it doesn't fit.
Unless you wanna do it as is.
Yeah.
They all look strong to themselves.
Absolutely. And why would you, and they will ask, Jackie, all the time, why would you put down 20% and then have us pay the closing costs in a conventional loan? It just doesn't fit.
Because you're the sellers paying a lot, 3.5 down.
That we do. That we will do. So if we go conventional, so we do a lot of condos in the area. I live in Tinley, so we do a lot like Oak Forest, Midlothian, and there's a lot of condos. And you cannot go FHA. I don't care. Dan stood up here and said, check the thing. You ain't finding one. And if you do, let me know.
I have buyers.
I do too. We all have buyers. It ain't happening. I don't care. Anywhere on the south side you go ain't happening. You could go and then we'll look. So, I will flip. If I get a client that comes to me as a buyer, and you've got to be doing it, you got to get burned a couple times to know. So I'll save you all the headache. If you have a buyer that comes to you with an FHA approval and they're looking at a condo, you call their lender and say, listen, do you realize that they're doing a condo? Yeah, well, no condos take FHA. Can we do a 3% conventional?
That's what happened to me.
And I flip them. I barely ever lose, ever, because I'm like,
Oh, is that the thing, like she was saying, do they make the lenders, because there's a billion lenders, and I'm like, what is it, do they make more money off of certain loans, right, is that why? So, yeah, because a lot of times they'll just FHA, right, FHA, and I'm like, well,
that's
then they
why,
can do conventional.
that's why it's $4,500 to close a loan. Everything else is your fees that are tacked on. So that's why, who said it? Said that's why your attorneys charge you $100. They're, whoa, we're awesome. We charge you $100. Yeah, because you made $2,100. I had a condo close at $52,000, and the title was $2,100. My client was fuming, and I was like, and it was my lawyer, and I was like, you know, more because I had to deal with the repercussions. Kim, why is that? And why is it? Because you don't charge them anything, and you want to make the most money. So be careful who you get in business with.
So who do you tell the client that they should be qualified for conventional? If most of the things they're looking for, only accept conventional loans, so you tell them, okay, you tell them what to ask for, but they don't know.
I will. Like, they'll call the lender. So here's what happens. A day in my business, I get a buyer in, great, I have them pre-approved with anybody, Matt, Dan, Jan, blah, 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 I don't care who it is. And they come back and they have an FHA, right? And then they're telling me, Kim, we want to look at like fixer-uppers, and we want to look at auctions, and you know, my husband's a carpenter, and we want to be able to do that. Totally, I get it. We do it too. I understand. Okay, so some of your pre-approval, it's FHA. Ugh, sorry. With an FHA loan, because it's a government-backed loan, they're not going to approve this. They're not going to approve this. So what we're going to do, all hope is not lost. Let me call your lender and see if we can go conventional. Well, I don't have the 20% down. That's okay. We're going to do a 3% conventional. They have those? Absolutely they do. So what did I do? Now, could I look like the expert? The more you know about it.
Is the rate better? I mean, FHA is 3.5 or whatever, so.
No,
Okay.
I don't even hit it with them with the rate because it is what it is. Are you waving at me, Joe?
I had a question, and so one of the things that I find really aggravating is that lenders are telling people, they're pre-qualifying them, and then they're saying, and don't forget to ask for closing cost credits. Well, not all situations are closing cost credits. And if they don't want me to be in the loan business, why do they think they're in the real estate business? Huh?
I said absolutely. Yeah. Uh-huh. I had one of my lenders say to a client of mine, oh, do you have something to sell? She said, yeah. And he said, where is it? She said, Crestwood. He said, how much do you owe? She said, 93. He said, oh, you'll break even. She had this up. Right. So I called him and said, if you wanna do business with me, you're not gonna say that because that's my job to say it.
Right.
He was like, I'm so sorry. I go, well, she went to more trust.
Right.
He lost that deal. And I just call a spade a spade. You said that, she got upset, and now she went to the other guy. So you'll learn not to say it.
So I had a buyer who was, it was a multiple offer situation. The offers were identical with the exception of the financing. My buyer was FHA and the other buyer was conventional. And the seller made the assumption that the conventional loan was a more stable option, so they went with that. 6 weeks later, or less than 6 weeks later, maybe 3 or 4 weeks later, I got a phone call from the seller's agent asking if my client might still be interested in the house. As it turns out, that seller then, after they got the offer accepted, flipped it over and was doing an FHA
A
loan.
lot of people, beware of that come springtime. Beware of that, because come springtime, they will give you, they'll tell you, listen, we'll say it's conventional, we'll win that, we'll flip it right in the middle. Wow. Yes, beware of that. Multiple offers, or what they're doing come springtime, these lenders are telling their clients, let's go ahead and move you through the process. All you have to do is insert a house and we'll close it in 14 days. So beware of that when it comes springtime, because they're on it. But I've seen that. It's unfortunate.
So what baffles me though is why somebody would think that a conventional loan was more stable or had a better chance of closing than an FHA loan.
The home inspection. For the appraisal.
Because of the condition of the house.
Yeah. The only, and people are conditioned, even if you ask them, if you have that, because they think, well, FHA, the inspector is gonna come in and nitpick us to that, and then it's gonna fall apart
They're hoping to be
anyway.
perfect.
Yeah, yeah, and they'll say, or they'll say, I've had this with older
I
clients.
have never had a difficult
I've either
FHA
have.
appraisal
I
process.
want. It was unbelievable.
It's very predictable, the things that they're looking for.
Absolutely.
It's not anything that's not gonna come up on any other inspection.
A lot of times it's what they've been told, and so, like, and I'll go through, even at the listing appointment, I will go through and I tell them, as we walk through the house and looking for anything that an FHA appraiser is gonna call on, so we just wanna know ahead of time if there's anything, because
Absolutely.
I don't want you to be afraid of an
Absolutely.
FHA offer, I want you to know what to do.
Yeah.
There's still some sellers that are like, I've had bad experiences, I absolutely
FHA,
accept it, do it, or they have stuff that they're just not telling me.
Okay.
Yeah. So, everybody, I know it's a lot to grasp, and this, as you do more business, you'll see. So, yeah, it's a lot. Okay, closing costs, boy, we just, frequently asked questions. How do you tell me about the newest homes? Will you inform me if you are on page 41, right? Will you inform me of homes from all real estate companies, or just Keller Williams? Read through these, because these are good questions that you may think are just very simple, and we all know, that the clients all know them, but they really don't. Can we go back to our property again, once an offer is made, but before possession? Once my offer is accepted, what should I do? That's great. About me, this is your time to shine, page 42. Your time to shine, folks. Get yourself a biography or about me page and tell them what you do. Hi, when I first started, it was, hi, I'm Kim Neal. Been at Keller Williams for 6 months, love this company. They're number one in, sales, volume, units. I'm a mom of 3. I enjoy, vacationing in Florida at our house. I play roller derby. My children are not, 18, 16, whatever. It was all about me because I didn't have much experience. So it was all about getting to know who Kim was, right? And I used to put that in the folder too. So it's just all about me. It's good. And this way, the more personal you are with your people, the more they build a connection. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the KPAs that they do here. So my strong suit is being able to find that connection. That's my number one thing. So it's how do you find I can find a connection. And that's what you want to do, because that's how you're going to retain your people, right? It's all about retention.
How do you find a connection? I don't want to.
So if you're, okay, so, hi, I'm Kim Neal, how are you? I'm good. So tell me, what brings you? Awesome. Where do you want to find out?
What about house?
Home Fun, good. Do you have family Home Fun? Okay. Have you heard about Home Fun? That's the reason why. Awesome. Okay, so tell me what you do. What do you do for them?
I don't do anything. I'm a disabled vet.
Ah, you're a vet. Awesome. My grandfather, my father. Where were you at? Where'd you serve? You're a road traveler. And thank you for your service. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
That means a lot. Seriously.
Yeah. If it wasn't for you, I couldn't do what I do. Oh, we're glad. Okay. So any children?
Yes.
How many? Boy, girl?
Yes.
Boy and a girl?
Yes.
Oh, you're so lucky. I have 3 boys. Tried 3 times. Ain't try no more. Ain't try no more. So do you see I'm kind of pulling from you? It's always this. It's always family and work, right? She's a disabled vet. Thank you for your service. If it wasn't for you, I'm appreciative. If it wasn't for you, I couldn't do what I do. And you know what? You got more balls and stamina than I ever would have. God bless you and thank you. Right? Is it true?
Yeah.
It is absolutely
Yeah.
true. Does she have kids? And can we relate as a mother? Absolutely. You know, and it's great when they have girls because I instantly am like, she got a girl too, you know? So, you know, so I'm looking for that common bond. You know, same with, and it all depends on their personality. You gotta, like if she was more standoffish, I probably would have pushed a little more like, oh, he's a boy, girl, how old are they? Wrong. Okay, so.
You want to stand off, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many people,
See?
how many? So 2, okay, great, so let's go ahead and see what you need. You know, tell me what you're looking for in a house. How many bedrooms?
I want 3 bedrooms, an office, I want a basement, I want a backyard, I want a swimming pool. I don't want a homeowners association. I don't want neighbors too close. I don't want people, they just irritate me.
Well, look.
You want to stand offish, right?
I want standoffish, because then here's how I would do. So I'm writing, okay, good. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and help you find the perfect place. We're gonna start with price, and then we're gonna work our way back. We're gonna go for price and see where in Home Fund that would be to thank you, and then we'll start looking.
I have a $390,000 pre-approval with my certificate eligibility, but I don't want to spend over too much.
Okay, all right, let me see what I can find you, see if we can make it work. And I would leave it until I got to know you. You know what I mean? And as I got to know you, now for you, I'm gonna be very analytical. Like, here's all the properties that fit your search. I'm gonna show you them because I know in Homer's Land, she's not kidding, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So then I'm gonna move and say, well, I do have one for 340. And then maybe I have what we need. So here's what we are at 200. Here's where we are at 340. Now let's go look at 390. Right? So it's moving slowly. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. So you always want to mirror match. I would mirror match her. You know, she's standoffish, I'm standoffish.
Oh, really? You wouldn't be standoffish?
I would not be mean, but I would only give you what you needed. You know, because there's a reason why. Maybe that's just, maybe you are just bullet points, and that's what you need. Okay. Above and beyond, there's your above and beyond, right? Okay, 44, the guy buying your home. So this is another great piece of info you can put in your packet. It tells you about Keller Williams. If you're not- if you're new. Okay, and that's pretty much closing the buyer reps. I think we've spoken up about the consultation and what you do. Do you agree? You guys need me to go over this? So when you're closing out, and it's like when I'm leaving that first house with them, when I do a consultation, because I do it too, like with Angela, I have my stuff all laid out, you know, and I'm talking with them, and I always give myself, when I make my appointments, probably an extra 20 minutes to do it, you know. And I lay all my stuff out, and then I kind of wrap it up. Like, here's this, here's where we're at, this is what we're doing. I absolutely feel comfortable with you. I hope I've answered all your questions. Do you have any other questions? Is there something that, you know, burning desire or something that I didn't cover that we need to cover? No, yeah, by that time we're all laughing, and I probably spent 45 minutes with them, and I'm like, okay, great, so all we need to do is go ahead and sign the buyer's agreement. All this is stating that you're my client and that I'm your agent. That's what this is, and it allows me to get paid at the end of the transaction, and not by you, by the listing agent.
Now, when they refuse to sign, do you still work with them?
Absolutely.
But if they trust you and like you, they're going to sign. I also add in this is state law.
Oh,
I
that's
that.
great.
Oh,
And
wait,
when
say
they
it
get
one
that
more time.
notice,
I like that.
I do
tell
too.
them, I say that this document is just saying that I'm very committed to you. I'm committed to helping
I
you make
love
your
that.
dreams come true. And this is, I'm only doing this because this is state law. This is Illinois law.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is a great
It's
one.
signed when they sign contract.
Yeah. That is
Is it
awesome.
really
I
state
love
law?
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
99% of people don't do it.
No, you do
Most
it.
brokerages don't even do it.
Yeah.
I was told that we couldn't get paid.
I
I
know
haven't
we
had a
don't get
closing
paid
yet,
here,
but also we
so-
couldn't get
That's true.
paid
That's
here
true.
if we didn't have
They
a
need to do
exclusive buyer's agreement.
Right. No, you don't need to say that.
No, of course not,
But-
right.
Just that state law thing really nails it home. And everybody
If you
gets it.
are working with somebody who didn't sign the buyer's agreement, when you get them to sign a contract, then you need to include that, and say, you know, if you had gone over it before, say, I know we went over this before, it's a state law, we just have to have this on file, now that we have a contract, you know, please go ahead and sign it. And then they're usually-
All right, so it's 12 o'clock. Barb will kill me if I don't say it. There's a 7.0 contract launch and learn. If you want to stay, which is probably a good idea. I don't know if anybody's used to 7.0. Questions?
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
You're welcome, guys. Yeah, let me grab some cards. I'll stay this. Yeah, it's like, no. Let me grab some cards.